Okay, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that. And where'd it go? Oh, it's already up here. Okay. What's going on, guys? Walter with the RC Addiction Vlog. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the RC Vlog. Guys, we are back in short course racing and we couldn't be more excited. If you guys know, short course is kind of one of my favorite classes. This class is technically what got me into RC racing in general. My first experience of going to an RC racetrack, especially an indoor carpet track, was I had brought my two-wheel drive Slash to the track to see what racing was all about. And when you really break down the short course class, the two-wheel drive Slash is pretty much the same thing. It's a two-wheel drive short course truck, right? Now, of course, the Slash is very, very primitive compared to these cars. We all know that, but that is how I got acclimated with the, racing industry. And so, or the racing side of the hobby. And short course has always had a soft spot in my heart just because of how cool the trucks look when they are ripping across the tracks. The buggies and the stadium trucks, they are very, very cool as well, but there's just something to be said about a short course truck that is just ripping an off-road track. Whether it's carpet or dirt, doesn't matter. It's so cool to watch these things get around a track just because we're all very familiar with the two-wheel drive Slash. It's been one of the most longest running vehicles in the RC hobby, I would imagine, or probably pretty close to it. But so we had to get our purple body off the shelf to take out a retirement because we went short course racing this weekend for the first time in a long time. It's been probably almost a year since we had entered a short course race. And if you guys stay tuned to the channel, you guys would have known that we had bought this short course truck used from a good friend of ours who had also bought it from the owner of the truck, who originally built it, a guy up out of the Portland area that was very well known in the Pacific Northwest. And we all knew this truck was going to be fast. You guys are probably more recognize the truck if it had his all white body on it. But we ended up having to pull our purple body off the shelf and run this thing. We had to pull it out of retirement, guys. I know, it was crazy. We didn't think we were going to run short course again for even a little bit longer, and we were able to make it happen. So I just wanted to show you guys, do kind of a build breakdown, if you will, of this truck, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an overview. This thing is a custom built Vision chassis short course truck, so there may be parts on this thing that you see that aren't available to the public. So if there is, I don't know what to tell you. You guys would have to find somebody to 3D print them or do something like that. But this thing is a monster of a truck. If you watched, I just posted my one of my heat races from this weekend, club racing with this thing, and I ran with some really fast short course guys. And in that heat race, this truck was no slouch. Absolutely no slouch. The errors that it made was based on the driver, not the truck itself or limitations of the truck by any means. It was just a driver error. So if I could have kept it together, kind of the opportunity was endless there. If I could have kept it together, if you will, and not made so many mistakes in my race, it would have been really good for me. So the nice part about this truck that I really, really like are these body posts, which I think are the one item or a few of the items that are 3D printed on this thing. So I apologize for that, but these thumb screw body posts are absolute game changer. No more body pins. I can't stand body pins, guys. I know I love my stadium truck still has them, but short course, no more. So body off, old purple body. We don't know how much longer we're going to run that. We're probably going to have to obviously get a color scheme to match this. But as you can see, Vision truck, Vision chassis. This thing is a unit, guys. As far as what it comes with, it does have a massive one-up fan that is on this 3D printed tower that goes over the top of the motor. And I know this is the normal like cascade or waterfall piece as they normally call it for the B6 series, or technically the short course SC6 series. But there are a lot of parts on this thing that have been converted to the B7 front end, as far as the front A-arms, all the turnbuckles, the geometry of the front end has been turned into a B7. Hobbywing ESC. Now, what I love about this is the way it was built. The way that this thing is wired, and just the functionality of everything in its place, all the wires being shortened to match the battery. It's just absolute game changer, guys. Absolute game changer when you talk about how neat this vehicle is. Now, what I'm not familiar with, now I know this is running the team associated 13 mil shocks, but he does have them flipped upside down on custom shock towers. Or excuse me, they're not custom shock towers, they are B7 shock towers, front and rear, but I'm not 100% familiar on what shock oil he was originally running or what's in them now. So I still have a little bit of homework to do as far as figuring out what setup is actually in the truck. So we're not, I wouldn't say we are totally dead as far as trying to fix it, but we are going to get all the details on that and then figure out how so that we can rebuild this thing and make sure that the setup is correct every time. Because it's very important, guys. Like when you buy something used, I wouldn't say this was a consignment buy, but this was a buy that I bought from a buddy, an RC buddy, who we all knew who this truck came from. And we knew the setup was bitchin'. We knew how good this truck was. Now, the one thing I want to also touch on is the tires, but I'll get into that in a second. And when I bought this thing, it was like, okay, well, you could probably run it for maybe a race or two before you'd have to rebuild anything. And then you'd have to know where or what the guy did, right, for fluids and his setup sheet. So, which we still haven't figured out. We still got to go down that path. But I do want to touch on the tires. The guy that ran this car, he was sponsored by Proline, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe he was sponsored by Proline. So this car did come with Prolines on the car when I bought it, and they really work pretty decent. I'm not a Proline driver. I've never ran the Proline tires on a short course truck, so I wasn't familiar with them at all. And when I bought the truck, I thought, well, we're just going to bind a receiver to this thing and hit the track, see what happens. Because worst case is it's bad, but the problem is we knew it wouldn't be bad. Like it couldn't be that bad with as good as he was with it, right? I mean, unless we were the ones that were driving or couldn't drive it, if you will. But anyways, yeah, which is is that the case pretty much all the time? Yeah, it's always my fault. But anyways, so we're just trying to figure out and go through it. We raced it this weekend and it was good, but tires were not I mean, they were good, but they weren't that good. Like we've always ran J-Con tires on our short course truck. Specifically, I mean, and most short course drivers probably know this. If you run carpet, swaggers up front, fuzz bites in the back with glued sidewalls all the way to the top and then some on the front swaggers, which he is running a set of Proline. What are these? Proline are they prisms? Yeah, prisms with glued sidewalls. So it's not like these weren't any different. It's just these tires feel very, very edgy compared to what I'm used to in the swagger. So we're going to switch on our next race. We're going to switch to the J-Con swagger up front, which I was going to see if I had any. No, those are all stadium truck tires. I know I might not have any new ones to show you, but it's basically the J-Concept swagger, J-Concept's fuzz bite in the back, and that's been our go-to setup. It was our go-to setup with our Bardo build short course 6.4 that we had, and it worked really, really good for a long time. Like for the setup and everything we had going on, it worked really well. So I just want to give you guys a quick look at this and just tell you guys how excited we are to run short course again. Like it is beyond one of my favorite classes. And if you've ever ran short course, you'll know what I'm talking about. And a lot of times this is just a class that you run with your buddies. It's not something that we run super competitively or try to be, always get podiums. It's just, this is a fun class and it makes you feel like you're out driving your two-wheel drive slash at the park, if you will, just being able to send it off some jumps and just have a good time. So if you guys know, you know. I guess that's kind of one of those things nowadays. I feel like if you know, you know, right? So anyways, if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button down below. As always, say subscribe to the channel, and guys, we will see you next time.